Welcome everybody to another video of Vinyl Addict. This is Chili, and for my Rolling Stones live vinyl pick number 9, I have the Rock and Roll Circus. Now, before I get into this, please don't forget to hit the like button, comment on this video, share this video, and if you still haven't, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell for updates. Okay, so with that out of the way, the Rock and Roll Circus was a film the Rolling Stones made in 1968, and what it was a tool to promote their new album, their upcoming album at the time, Beggar's Banquet. Now, it didn't see the light of day. It wasn't released until 1996 because the band felt the performance they had was pretty mediocre, and it suffered a lot and whatnot. That's one theory. Another theory was that the Who's performance was better and it upstaged the Rolling Stones, but I thought they were both good. And it was the last performance with Brian Jones, who would die 7 months after the filming of this performance. Okay, so there are some, this little box set here has some extras on here. There's some outtakes and whatnot that didn't make it on the film. And the film itself has some outtakes that are not the same as on the album. And just like interviews with Pete Townsend and whatnot, and some more facts about the filming of the movie. Now I'm gonna go through this set list, okay, and go through who played what, because what it was is pretty much a bunch of bands that the Rolling Stones got together in a circus environment, and Mick would be the ringleader, and he would introduce all these different acts, or members of the Stones would. And in between, like other acts such as a fire dance guy or a cannonball man or whatever. So like a circus, right? So here we go. So here is the first record here, side 1, and it's Mick Jagger's introduction to the Rock and Roll Circus. Then there's the entry of the Gladiators by the Circus Band, which is a band of circus performers pretty much, and they have horn players and whatnot. And now then it was Mick Jagger's introduction of Jethro Tull. So each member of the Rolling Stones introduces a singing artist. So he's going to introduce Jethro Tull, which would be their first ever performance, public appearance, and they sing Song for Jeffrey. And as you can see, there's Tony Iommi is on there with them. Hope you can see that. And he's playing a Fender Stratocaster, because in his story that he had 2 guitars. He had a Fender Stratocaster and he had an SG, and the Fender broke, and so that's why he just ended up using the SG. Now this is him taking a break from Black Sabbath. They actually they were kind of touring before and everything. They haven't made their albums or anything yet, but they were still together as Earth or whatnot. And but he took a break and was filling in for this guitarist of the Jethro Tull band. He was absent for 2 weeks, and so here he is. Okay, so they perform. Then Keith Richards introduces the Who, and they do a quick one, and while he's away. Okay, and then it's Over the Waves and Circus Band. Then we go to side 2 is Taj Mahal, Ain't That a Lot of Love, Charlie Watts' introduction of Marianne Faithfull, and she does Something Better. And then Mick Jagger and John Lennon's introduction of the Dirty Mac. Now the Dirty Mac is a supergroup, so it has John Lennon on lead vocals and rhythm guitar, Eric Clapton on lead guitar, Keith Richards on bass, and Mitch Mitchell of the Jimi Hendrix Experience on drums. If that ain't a supergroup, I don't know what is. Okay, so they do Your Blues, which is from the White Album, the John Lennon song. Then they do Whole Lotta Yoko, and Yoko Ono comes on and she starts just screaming throughout the whole song. It's very annoying. And so she's jamming with the Dirty Mac, and another guy comes on named Ivory Gitless, who's a violinist. And so here are some pictures of the There's Marianne Faithfull. And this record here is red. And it matches the cover here. So the next one is the blue record, sides 3 and 4. Now this is comprised of this is all Rolling Stones here. This is their entire set. And so here's some pictures of them performing. There's Mick up there, and there's John Lennon and Mick, because they, John will introduce them, of course. And there's Keith and Mick. Okay, so LP2 side 3, John Lennon's introduction of the Rolling Stones, okay, and then they go into Jumpin' Jack Flash, Parachute Woman, No Expectations, You Can't Always Get What You Want, and then side 4 is Sympathy for the Devil and Salt of the Earth. So you can see this is a lot of Beggar's Banquet material, and that's why it was, like I said, it was used for a tool to promote that album, and so they're doing a lot of it here, which is cool. And this is Blue, Circus, Rock and Roll Circus. It's a short performance, but you know what? I think it's one of the ones. It's a must-have, and even though, of course, they don't like it, you know, it just sort of just like it has to do. I think it just because it's the old label, you know. And so there's that, and this last record here, this is extras that wasn't on the film. And okay, so side 5 is, this whole side is Taj Mahal. You got Checking Up on My Baby, Leaving Trunk, and Karina. Now Karina, they played, you know, in my last video of Rolling Stones Live Vinyl number 8 was Bridges to Babylon. Taj Mahal is a guest on that one with them doing Karina. So here we are again, 31 years before. Okay, so next is side 6 with the Dirty Mac, and they have a rehearsal of them doing Revolution, and then they have a warm-up jam, which is really cool, and then they do Your Blues Take 2, and Brian Jones' introduction of Julius Katchen, and that gentleman does Die Fala, Ritual Fire Dance. He does the music for that. There's a fire dance guy. And then Mozart, he does Sonata in C major first movement, so he plays piano. So they had all kinds of different acts on there. So, so here's the Dirty Mac down below, the supergroup. There's Taj Mahal up on the top. And of course Yoko doing what Yoko does. And this one has no color. I can't really make out what that image is on there. I guess that is all 3 vinyls of the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus. And you know, I think it's what I like about it is that it does, of course, have the songs Parachute Woman and No Expectations. Okay, so that in itself, you know, it's always you know, that's the thing with me with these live Rolling Stone collections, is those different songs, these deep cuts that you hear, and then just to hear it from the time of when the album was out is, you know, is a no-brainer to have. So I'm always gonna like what they put out. It doesn't matter, you know, I'm biased. I'm a Rolling Stones fan. So leave me a comment. What do you think? Did it suck, or did you think they you know, played better and they've had better performances? Or, you know, because it is the last one with Brian too, and it's also, I know Keith had a lot of issues of that day. He was, was really strung out, he said. But, they got through it. And with that, I'll shut up and I'll see you guys in the next video.